Our toddler has just had a nap and has a cookie and a television show to distract him. I'm using a number 4 clipper guard for this haircut. Using a clip, section out the longer hair on the top of the head. Using the number 4 guard, cut everything below the part you've sectioned out. Because our toddler is in a high chair, I'm having a hard time getting some of these parts in the back, and we'll need him to look down in order to get those. So I'm going to move on to the other side and do the back last. This is the direction our toddler's hair parts, so I'm just loosely combing all of the hair in the other direction and cutting everything beneath that section. Our toddler is being a very good boy, but sometimes they still move around, so just be careful if they move to stop cutting and pull the clipper away from their head so you don't cut any unwanted hair. I'm doing my best to cut as much hair as I can in the back and on the sides before I have to have him look down to get the very underneath section at the bottom of his head. Once I cut as much as I could, it was time for him to look down, so we asked him to count the chocolate chips on his cookie for us. That did the trick, and he looked down, so that was my chance to cut all of the hair underneath. Sometimes the hair grows in all different directions, especially around the hairline, so you have to make sure that you come in from all directions using the clippers in order to cut those hairs. Now that I've cut all of the back and the sides, I'm going to come in with my scissors and comb to cut the long hair on the top. You'll want to take sections that are small enough to hold between 2 fingers, but because it's a toddler, we're trying to work quickly and cut as much hair as we can as quickly as we can. So I'm taking kind of big chunks and cutting really quickly, trying to get the majority of the length off. For some sections right around the edge where the short hair meets the long, I'm blending it by combing up with my comb and cutting straight over the comb. I like just blending the top with the shorter sides and leaving a lot of length on the top, but if the hair is stacking really heavily, you may need to cut more length off of the top. To do this, just comb the hair straight up and cut more length. To blend the side where the hair parts, it's going to be similar, but you'll need to comb the hair back in the opposite direction of how it lays and cut a lot of the length off. You want to make sure that you cut a lot of this length in case some of his hair falls to this side. It will look funny if there are really long hairs laying over the short part. So just make sure that you cut a lot of that so that it blends. A really good way to tackle cowlicks is to use a thinning shear. This will cut every other hair, so it's a really good blending tool. It's also a good way to blend the edges where the short hair meets the long hair. If you're really brave, try to trim the edges using a trimmer, but be careful. They move, and if they move while you're doing this, you could cut a hole in their hair. So be very extra cautious. You'll need him to look down for this again. So now's the time to talk to him about that cookie. Oftentimes, a toddler's hair will fall down in front of their forehead, so you want to make sure that you blend all of those front hairs as well. I saw that it was looking really good, so I finished it off with a little bit of pomade. And voila! The haircut is complete, and we have ourselves a happy, handsome toddler.